So, welcome today for our weekly Science of Self-Realization reading. We are going to read from the chapter 8. We will continue from where we had stopped. And yeah, we had just started with chapter 8 and we were at this point. So, how will I go is I will read some few paragraphs and later on you can read and we'll discuss.
Yes.
So, let's start. The Lord has three kinds of energies. In the Vishnu Puran, there are descriptions of energies of the Supreme Lord. And the Vedas also in the Upanishads, there are descriptions of the energies of the Supreme Lord. Parashara Shaktir Vividhe Shruvate. Shvetashara Upanishad. Shakti means energy. The Lord has multi energies. The Vedas say God has nothing to do. We have work to do because we have no other means to exist. We have to eat, we wish to enjoy this and that. But why should God work? God does not have to work. Then how can we say the God created this universe? Is that not work? No. Then how did it happen? His multiforce energy is so strong that they are acting naturally and are full of knowledge. We can see how a flower blooms, glows, and systematically displays multicolors. One side is little spot, another side little spot, white on side this side, more white on the other side. Butterfly also exhibits such artistry symmetry. So this is all being painted, but in such a perfect way and so soft swiftly that we cannot see how. We cannot understand how it's been done, but it's been done by the energy of the Lord. So the thing is, you know, there are these automatic doors to the mall, right? And these doors, you don't need doorkeepers. But then the manager of the mall is able to control the door, right? Because he has delegated it to the device. Okay. Similarly, Supreme Lord also has delegated a lot of work to, the Indra, Brahma, and they are doing all the work, and he's simply enjoying. So, by this, we can understand how Krishna is working in this world. It is due to lack of knowledge that people say that God is dead, that there is no God. They say God is dead because, sometimes bad things happen. Accident happen, near and dear ones die, and then the person will be thinking, oh, I worshipped God, I went to, I did so many puja, prayers, this, that, and at the end, my desires are not fulfilled and people are taken away from me. So maybe he is no more, he is not there at all. There is no more, there's no one like God. So this is how atheistic mind comes to. But we should understand that this world is pretty temporary and things don't happen the way we want. Okay, and we are in this world to understand this thing and to understand that this is just a bridge. Okay, this world is just a bridge. We have to cross the bridge. We don't have to stay on the bridge. We don't have to live on the bridge. We don't have to create our house on the bridge. We have to cross the bridge. So so therefore in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says this thing: Dehino sim yata dehe kaumaram yovanam jara tata dehantar prapti dhiras tatnamoite. Dhira. Dhira means wise person. Become wise by understanding that this change of body is taking place and time is controlling it, and things can happen according to us as untimely, but a wise person knows what is happening behind the scene. The soul never dies. The karma is taking the soul, to other to his next destination. And um, the relationship with we have that person that ends over there. Okay. Material energy, material relationship, they they are very temporary. So behind all our relationship, understanding and loving and affection, we should still know that things are very temporary. That will help us. Otherwise, we may get very, very disturbed if things don't happen like we want. See, COVID is still going on and last for 2 years. So many near and dear ones have died. Hmm? I have also lost few people, and in every family, some of the other things have happened. But yeah, we should understand the spiritual truth behind all these things and not get so agitated, so disturbed that when we will end up saying, "Oh, God is dead" or "There is no God." But that is the wrong conclusion. We are in this world, and these things keep happening. Okay. So, just as a haunted man speaks all nonsense when he becomes covered by illusory energy of the law of God, we say that God is dead, but that is not a fact. Therefore, we need this chanting process to cleanse our heart. Take to the simple process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In that way, in your family life, in your club, in your home, on the road, everywhere, chant Hare Krishna, and this darkness covering your heart, covering your real position will be removed. Then you will understand your real constitutional position. So apart from Bhagavad Gita knowledge, we should chant Hare Krishna also. Because Krishna's holy name is not different than Krishna. Okay. It is, so when we chant Krishna, Krishna is in our tongue, he's in our ears, and he is in our heart. And what is he doing? Cheto Darpana Marjana, which Prabhupada starts explaining in the next paragraph. The Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended Cheto Darpana Marjana. Marjana means cleansing. Darpana means mirror. The heart is a mirror, it's just like a camera. Just as a camera takes all things of pictures of days and nights, so all our heart takes pictures and keeps them in an unconscious state. Psychologists know this. The heart takes so many pictures and therefore it becomes covered. We do not know when it has begun, but it's a fact that because there is material contact, our real identity is covered. Therefore, Cheto Darpana Marjana, one has to cleanse this heart. There are different processes to cleanse the heart: the jnana process, the yoga process, the meditation process, pious activities. Karma also cleanses the heart. If one acts very piously, his heart will be gradually cleansed. But although these processes are recommended for cleansing the heart in this age, they are all very difficult. To follow on the path of philosophical knowledge, one must be very learned scholar. One must read so many books. One must go to learned professors and scholars and speculate. One must search out a person who has seen the light. All these are all philosophical process. Meditation is also a recommended process. One should question, who am I? What am I? Just consider, I am this body. No, I am this finger. No, this is my finger. If you contemplate your leg, you will see, oh, this is my leg. Similarly, you will find everything to be mine. And where is that I? Everything is mine. Then where is the I? Okay, this is my leg means me and my leg are separate. So where is the I? Who am I really? So this is how empirical philosophers, the Gyan yogis, they speculate. They question everything in this life. They analyze and all that, and they try to come to a conclusion, which for us common people it is not possible. So for us, the direct method is given: chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Real meditation means concentrating all our senses in that way. But that meditation process is very difficult. One must control the senses. The senses are dragging outwards. One has to bring them inwards for introspection. Therefore, there are 8 processes in the yoga system. The first is controlling the senses by regulative principles, the sitting postures. So this is a mechanical process. Through yoga asanas and pranayamas, you control the mind, you control your body. See, when blood pressure increases, what does the doctor tell to the patient? If suppose they don't have medicine, what does the doctor tell? Do you know? Have you heard about something?
Breathing exercise, probably.
Yeah, they say to do pranayama. And with that, what happens is your mind becomes calm and the blood pressure also goes down. So, what happens exactly is that the mind is on the life airs. Okay, actually, the soul is on the life airs. And if the life air is agitated, the soul will be agitated. So, you control that life airs, you control by that breathing. Okay, and then you calm yourself down. When you calm yourself down, the external body also calms down and the blood pressure automatically reduces to some extent. So yeah, so the yogis, they calm down themselves by doing these yoga asanas and pranayamas. If one sits, if one sits leaning over, that will not help. One sits up straight, that will help. Then controlling the breathing, the meditation, then samadhi. But today, these are very difficult processes. See, we know we have to do yogasanas, we know we have to do exercise, etc., etc. But every time we decide, okay, let's do, and we are able to hardly do, continue it, right? So many people have problems. So it's a very difficult process, basically. There are gyms all over, but not everyone goes through that, because for us it become very difficult. We can only do little, like that. So from where can we achieve the meditation and samadhi steps of this you know of this yoga that is mentioned here? And people do all these yogasanas and pranayams for what? For spiritual benefit or for which benefit? For material benefit only. They say, oh, my mind is calm now, my blood pressure has gone down, I'm feeling nice. Will you chant Hare Krishna after doing this? No, 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 Hare Krishna. They'll say like this. So people practice this process not for spiritual benefit, but again for material benefit only. So that's why it's we see that they are not getting full benefit of all these things. Full benefit is when they spiritually advance, not just materially, but spiritually they advance. The actual yoga process, although a recommended Vedic process, is very difficult in this age. So this word difficult means two things. One is it is difficult to do it. Second is, even if you do it, you may miss the goal. Therefore, it is difficult. You're getting? So it has two meanings to it. Doing is also difficult, and if you do it also, you may miss the goal. Why you're doing it? You may end up doing it just for your body. So similarly, one can try to get knowledge by speculative philosophical process. So philosophical process is also there. This is Brahman, this is not Brahman, what is spiritual. Such empiric philosophical discussion is also recommended. But in this age, but it is useless in this age. Why Prabhupada says it is useless? Empiric philosophers mean like Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya. They are able to leave the family members, everybody, on just the basis of knowledge. And um they will go on reading Upanishads and discussing about it. Very severe, austere life they will live. Okay. So that is not possible in this world. I mean, right now, common man cannot do this thing. See, why people like philosophy? Sorry. Why people like movies? Can you tell me why people like movies? Why people like novels? Why people like stories? Why people like dramas? Can you tell why people like these things?
Because they are not real promotion.
No, no, no. Because there is no philosophy in it.
Yes.
If you make them sit for a philosophical class and tell them that we will pay you 1,000 rupees, but if you sit here for 1 hour, still they won't sit. But they will go for a movie which will cost them 1,000 rupees, right? Because there is entertainment over there. There is dance, there is music, there is action. Philosophy, what is there? Philosophy, right? We are discussing some philosophy. How many are joining? So it is a tough thing, right? So what to talk about these empiric philosophers, where they are going to talk like this for the whole life? Difficult. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but also the Vedic literature says, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Kolo nasteva, nasteva, nasteva. Kolo nasteva, nasteva, nasteva. Gatir anyatha. Kolo means in this age, nasteva, nasteva, nasteva. Three times nasteva means certainly, and naste means not. Certainly not, certainly not, certainly not. What is that certainly not? One cannot realize oneself by karma. This is the first certainly not. One cannot realize oneself by jnana. This is the second certainly not. One cannot realize oneself by yoga. Certainly not. Kalau in this age. Kalau nasteva 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 gatirannata. In this age, one should certainly cannot achieve success by any of the three methods. Then what is the recommended process? Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Simply chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Kevalam means only. Simply chant Hare Krishna. It is easiest, most sublime process. This is the recommended, practical, and authorized. So take it. Accept it in any condition of life. There is no expenditure. There is no loss. Are any one of you paying for the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? No, right? It is free, and you can chant anytime. You don't have to be outside and inside clean. You can just chant any place, any time. There's no hard and fast rule also for Hare Krishna Mahamantra. For other Vedic mantras like Gayatri mantras, there is very strict rules. Okay, it is not just chanting. The chanting should have an effect on us. So the Vedic mantras, if they are not properly chanted with all the rules, regulations, and qualification, then it won't have this effect. Like there are Vedic mantras to control the sound, to control the energies, fire, water. There are Vedic mantras to make weapons out of these energies. That's what Lord Ram, Arjuna, and everyone used to do. Now those mantras are there in the Shastras, and if suppose someone gets it, then even if they try it, they won't be able to achieve anything out of it. Why? What do you think? Why those mantras are even there today? But if someone chants it, he won't still achieve the result. Why do you think that happens?
Not purely chanted.
And and
Not
what
even they'll not even know exact meaning and things like that.
and
Offensive chanting.
what did you say?
Offensive chanting, like while chanting the name of the Lord, they don't think
No, I'm
concentrate.
talking about Vedic mantras. I'm talking about Vedic mantras. See, the mantras to control the energies, fire energy, water energy, to create a weapon out of them are there even today. But anyone who chants it cannot achieve that expected goal.
Because
Why?
there are no pure brahmanas available in this Kali
Yeah, because they are not qualified in the Brahminical culture. They are not qualified for that, right? It is just like giving a remote control in the hands of 1-year-old baby. Can the baby turn on and off the TV? With the remote control in hand also it cannot do. It may press all kinds of buttons on it, but it cannot even turn on the TV, right? Why? Because you need to be qualified to use that remote control, to use that device. So those are the issues with Vedic mantras. You need a big qualification there. But Hare Krishna Mahamantra doesn't need any qualification. It is open for everybody. Even to the extent that an animal tries to imitate it. An animal tries to chant Hare Krishna. The Hare Krishna will work. Can you imagine? An animal tries to say Krishna Krishna somehow, and it's going to work. Meaning sometimes parrots they imitate and they say chant Hare Krishna, and they also say chant Hare Krishna. Then that Hare Krishna is going to give them spiritual benefit. Can you imagine? That is the power of Hare Krishna mantra. There is no hard and fast rule. Okay? So this is recommended, practical and authorized. So take it. Accept in any condition of life. Chant. There is no expenditure, no loss. We are not chanting a secret. No, it is open. And by chanting, you will cleanse your heart. Okay. Okay. Someone volunteer to read next 2-3 paragraphs. Yes. Can someone read? Anyone?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Go ahead. In this material world.
In this material world, no one wants misery, but it comes unexpectedly, like a forest fire that starts without anyone striking a match. It comes. No one wants a war, but the war is fought. No one wants famine, but famine comes. No one wants pestilence, but it comes. No one wants fighting, but there is fighting. No one wants misunderstanding, but there it is. Why? This is like a blazing fire in the forest, and it cannot be extinguished by the fire engines. The blazing fire of problems cannot be extinguished by a so called advancement of knowledge. No, that is not possible. Just as one cannot extinguish a forest fire by sending a fire engine or by bringing some water, the problems of our life cannot be solved by material processes.
Just hold on. If there is a forest fire, if there is a forest fire, um, if there is a forest fire, what is the best way to extinguish it?
One is rain, Prabhuji.
One is rain. That is only the rain. The rain is the only thing. The rain is the only thing that can actually extinguish forest fire. How many fire extinguishers we can use, but still forest fire cannot be controlled. Only the rain can do that. So there is our uh, therefore there is our prayer. Samsaradava nalalita loka. Last time we discussed this, na? Do you have this prayer? Samsaradava nalalita.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, Prabhu.
So the spiritual master brings in the rain in our life, which is burning by the forest fire of material world. So rain is the only solution. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Mataji.
There are many examples. Prahlad Maharaj says, "My dear Lord, the father and the mother are not actually the protectors of the children. The father and mother take care of their children, that is their duty, but they are not the ultimate protectors. When nature's law calls the child, the father and mother cannot protect him. Therefore, although generally it is considered a fact that the father and mother are the protectors of the child, actually it is not a fact. If someone is sailing the ocean and he thinks that he has a very nice boat, that will that protect him? No, still he may drown. A nice airplane is flying in the sky, everyone is safe, but all of a sudden it crashes. Nothing material can protect us. Suppose someone is deceased, he may engage a good physician who gives good medicine, but that will not guarantee that he will live. Then what is the ultimate guarantee? Prahlad Maharaj says, "My dear Lord, if you neglect someone, nothing can protect him."
Go ahead.
This is our practical experience. We can invent so many methods to solve the problems presented by the laws of material nature, but they are not sufficient. They will never solve all the problems, nor will they give actual relief. This is the fact. Therefore, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Maya, this external energy, is very, very strong. No one can surpass it. It is almost impossible. Then, how can one get free from this material nature? Krishna says. Simply by surrendering unto me, one can get relief from the onslaught of material nature. That is a fact. So we have to cleanse the heart to learn what is our relationship with the God.
Okay, okay. So I have one question for you all. Prabhupada is saying there is no guarantee if you go to even to a good physician. There's no guarantee, that father mother can protect the child. So does that mean that should we not go to a good physician? What does actually it means? Someone reading this may conclude, oh, forget it now. There is no, what's the point in going to God, good physician? Anyway we'll die. What's the point in that? So we cannot surpass this material energy. It's impossible. What is the point? Just chant Hare
Faith,
Krishna.
faith is important. So even if we go to like hospital, also like there should be faith and
Okay. So you mean to say still we should go to hospital, even though we know there is no guarantee.
yes, yes, and because
Hmm.
we we can try whatever maximum we can try, uh, such and then ultimately God has to God's grace also like
Yes. Yeah, that is the right understanding. See, from our side, we should be doing whatever is necessary. The father and mother should still protect the child. The good physician should treat. Ultimate decision is taken by the Lord. And he is not a cruel person who will say, okay, he did good, still he will die. No, it's not like that. There's a lot of thought process goes on behind it. Okay. You all read the uh, 18th chapter, right? So in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says there are 5 causes for any accomplishment of any action: the place of action, the performer, various senses, many different kinds of endeavors, and ultimately the super soul. So we should know this whole 5 factors, and we can work on these 4 factors, and the fifth factor will decide. Therefore, we should not think you are the doer. We should not be motivated by false ego. False ego means I am the doer. No. Then what we should be motivated? We should be motivated with the true knowledge. Okay. Okay. So does this help in understanding? Hmm?
yes, yes, bro.
So Prabhupada is also saying thing. We first have to realize our relationship with God, and then we should, at the same time we should seek help from whatever sources we are seeking from. But we should know the relationship with God. Our spirituality should be strong, basically. Okay, go ahead, Mataji. In the Katha Upanishad.
In the Katha Upanishad, it is stated, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. The supreme absolute personality of Godhead or the absolute truth is eternal. God is eternal and we are also eternal. But the Vedas indicate that He is the supreme living creature. He is not dead. If he is not living, how is this world working? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, under my supervision, things are going on. In the Bible also it is said that God created. That is a fact. Not that one time there was chunk and then this happened and then that. No. The Vedas tell us the actual facts, but we have to open our eyes to see. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. That is the process of cleansing our hearts. When we cleanse our hearts, then we will be able to understand what Krishna and Vedas say. We need to be purified. If a man is suffering from jaundice and you give him a piece of sugar candy, he will say that it's very bitter. But is sugar candy bitter? No, it is very sweet. And the medicine for the jaundice is that sugar. Modern science prescribes this, and it is prescribed in the Vedic literature also. So, if we take a great quantity of the sugar candy, then we'll be relieved from jaundice. And when there is relief, then one says, "Oh, this is very sweet." So, the modern jaundice of a godless civilization can be cured by this chanting of Hare Krishna. In the beginning, it may appear bitter, but when one advances, then he will see how pleasing it is.
Go ahead.
As soon as one understands his identity, his relationship with God, then immediately he becomes happy. We are so full of miseries because we have identified ourselves with the material world. Therefore, we are unhappy. Anxieties and fearfulness are due to misidentifying with the material world. The other day, I was explaining that one who identifies with this bag of bones and skin is like an animal. So, by chanting Hare Krishna, this misunderstanding will be cleansed. Cleansing of the heart means that one will understand that he does not belong to this material world. Aham Brahmasmi, I am spirit soul. As long as one identifies oneself with England, with India, or with America, this is ignorance. Today you are Englishman because you were born in England, but in your next life you may not take your birth in England. It may be in China or Russia or some other country. Or you may not get this human form of body. Today you are a nationalist, you are a very great follower of your country, but tomorrow if you stay in your country, you may be a cow being taken to slaughterhouse.
Go
So we
ahead.
have to thoroughly know our identity. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that actual identity of every living creature is that it is he is the eternal servant of God. If one thinks like that, I'm no one else's servant, my business is to serve God, then he's liberated. His heart is immediately cleansed and he's liberated. And after one has reached that, then all one's cares and anxieties in this world are over because one knows I'm a servant of the God will give me protection. Why should I worry about anything? It's just like a child knows that his mother and father will take care of him. He's free. If he should go to touch the fire, his mother will take care of him. Oh my dear child, don't touch. The mother is always looking after him. So why don't you put your trust in God? Actually, you are under the protection of God.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
People go to church and say, God give us our daily bread. Actually, if He did not give it to us, we would not be able to live. That's a fact. The Vedas also say that the one supreme personality supplies all the necessities of every other living creature. God is supplying food for everyone. We human beings have our economic problem, but what economic problem is there in societies other than the human society? The bird society has no economic problem. The beast have no economic problem. There are 84 lakh species of life, and out of that, human society is very very small. So they have created problems: what to eat, where to sleep, how to mate, how to defend. These are all the problems for us. But for the majority of the creatures, the aquatics, the fish, the plants, the insects, the birds, the bees, and the many millions upon millions of other living creatures do not have such problems. They're also living creatures. Don't think that they're different from us. It's not true that we human beings are the only living creatures and others are dead. All others are dead. No. And who is providing their food and shelter? It is God. The plants and animals are not going to the office. They're not going to the university to get technological education to earn money. So, how are they eating? God is supplying. The elephants eat hundreds of pounds of food. Who is supplying? Are you making arrangement for the elephants? There are millions of elephants. Who is supplying? So, the process of acknowledging that God is supplying is better than thinking God is dead. Why should we go to church and pray to God for bread? The Bhagavad Gita, it is said four kinds of people come to the Krishna: the distressed, those who are in need of money, the wise, and the inquisitive. One who is inquisitive, one who is wise, one who is distressed, and one who is in need of money, these four classes of men approach God. My dear God, I'm very hungry. Give me my daily bread. That's nice. Those who approach God in this way are recommended as Sukritinaha. Sukriti means pious. They're pious. Although they're asking for money, for food, they're considered pious because they're approaching God. And others are just the opposite. They're Dushkritinaha, impious. Kriti means very meritorious. But the word Dushkriti indicates that their energy is being misused to create havoc. Just like the man who invented atomic weapons. He has brain, but it is misused. He has created something that is dreadful. Create something that will ensure that man will no longer have to die. What is the use of creating something so that millions of people will immediately die? They will die today or tomorrow or after 100 years. So what have the scientists done? Creating something so that the man will not die immediately, so that there'll be no more disease, so that there'll be no more old age. Then they will have not. Then you will have done something. But the Dushkritinas never go to God. They never try to understand God. Therefore, their energy is misdirected.
Any questions? Any comment? Anyone else wants to read from here? Yes? Okay. Okay, Mataji, continue. The gross materialistic.
I will read, Prabhu.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, Prabhuji, go ahead. Yeah.
The grass, right? 1 second.
Yeah. The gross materialistics. Materialist.
Yeah. So the gross materials who ignore their relationship with God are described in the Bhagavad Gita as mudas. Muda means as donkey. Those who are working very, very hard to earn money are compared to the donkey. They will eat the same 4 chapatis, whole wheat bread patties, daily, but they are unnecessarily working to earn thousands of dollars. And others are described as Naradama. Naradama means the lowest of mankind. The human form of life is meant for God realization. It is the right of man to try to realize God. One who understands Brahman, God is a Brahmana, not others. So that is the duty of this human form of life. In every human society, there is some system that is called a religion, and by which one may try to understand God. It does not matter whether it is the Christian religion, the Mohammedan religion, or the Hindu religion. It doesn't matter. The system is to understand God and how our relationship with Him. That's all. This is the duty of human beings. And if the duty is ignored in human society, then it is animal society. Animals have no power to understand what is God and their relationship with God. Their only interests are eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. If we are only concerned with these things, then what are we? We are animals. Therefore, the Bhagavad Gita says that those who ignore this opportunity are the lowest of mankind. They got births and yet did not utilize it for God realization, but simply for the animal propensities. Therefore, they are Naradama, the lowest of mankind. And there are other persons who are very proud of their knowledge. But what is that knowledge? There is no God. I am God. Their actual knowledge has been taken away by Maya. If they are God, then how they are becoming dog? Become dog? How they become dog? They are. There are so many arguments against them, but they simply defeat God, atheism, because they have taken to process of atheism. Their actual knowledge is stolen away. Actual knowledge means to know what is God and our relationship with God. If one does not know this, then it is to be understand that his knowledge has been taken away by Maya.
Yeah.
Shall I continue? Okay.
So, so yeah, who is God and what is our relationship with Him? That is the main question, and that education is needed in the society. Okay. Otherwise, we are then equal to animals, simply working somewhere, getting our food, and then being happy with whatever gets. So, but we have to aspire higher also. That higher means dharma. That higher means to inquire about the absolute truth. Okay, go ahead, Prabhuji. Go ahead. So in this way,
So in this way, if we try to understand our relationship with God, there are ways and means. There are books and there is knowledge. So why not take advantage of them? Everyone should take advantage of this knowledge. Try to understand that in the Bhagavad Gita and other Vedic literatures, everywhere it is said that God is great and that although we are qualitatively one and one with God, we are minute. The
minute,
ocean in the
minute.
minute. The ocean and the minute particle of water have the same quality, but the quantity of salt and salt in the drop of water and the quantity of salt in the ocean are different. They are qualitatively one but quantitatively different. Similarly, God is all powerful and we have some power. God creates everything and we can create a small machine to fly, just like the small machines with which children play. But God can create millions of planets flying in the air. That is the qualification of God. You cannot create any planets. Even if you can create a planet, what is the benefit of that? There are millions of planets created by God, but you also have the creative power. God has power, and you have power. But He is so great that yours cannot compare to it. If you say, I am God, that is foolishness. You can claim that you are God, but what acts have you performed so extraordinary that you can claim that you are God? This is ignorance, that knowledge of one who thinks himself God has been taken away by the spell of Maya. So our relationship is that God is great and we are minute. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna clearly says, "All living entities are my parts and parcels. Qualitatively, they are one with me, but quantitatively, they are different. So we are simultaneously one with and different from God. That is our relationship. We are one because we have the same qualities as God. But if we study ourselves
Minutely.
minutely, we will find that although we have some great qualities, God has them all in greater quantities.
Okay, so yeah, this is an important concept that we are we are not equal to God. Okay, we are not equal to God. Just like a drop of seawater, it is not equal to the sea, but it is enough to understand what all is there in the sea. What salt is there, what metals are there, what elements are there, etc. etc. But that doesn't make it equal to the sea. Similarly, our soul has the similar nature, same nature as God, Satchit Ananda. But we are not supreme Satchitananda. Okay, we are minute Satchitananda. We are godly. We are parts of God, but not God. This is a very very important thing. Otherwise, people get confused, and there are other philosophers like Mayavad philosophers who will say you can become God and all that, which is not true. Okay, there is impersonalist philosophy in Vedas. What it says that you can merge in the Brahma Jyoti, which is true. You can merge in that. One may find shanti, 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 peace, and there'll be no material energy there. It will be completely spiritual energy. So one will be very peaceful there. But the individuality is even not lost in the Brahma Jyoti. Individuality is still there. And when the soul again desires, I need to do something, but the soul doesn't know that there is Supreme Lord and his Vaikuntha planets is there, it again comes back to this material world to do something. Okay. So that impersonalist philosophy is there. But Mayavad philosophy goes one step ahead and says that you merge and you become God, which doesn't happen. If that were to happen, then it means that Maya is greater than God, which is not true, right? Suppose someone says you can become God by this process, then that process is bigger than God, right? So it doesn't make sense. Okay, so we have to be very careful with the Mayavad philosophy. We should not hear it. We should be little far away from it. Okay, any comment, any thought on that?
This paragraph explains very good regarding this relationship with God, Prabhuji, our
Yes.
relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says our relationship with Krishna is Krishnera Nitya Das. Jivar Swarup Hoye Krishnera Nitya Das. So we are actually servants. Okay. Now, interestingly, last time we discussed about servants, and this is to what to say, table. There are two meanings of servant. One is servant of God. Okay. Another one is servant in this material world. So we compared servant of God, servant in this material. Servant of material world needs salary. Otherwise, it will leave the job. So there is technically no love. Second thing is servants are temporary in this world. After becoming servant, the servant says, I did the whole thing. So there is a doer mentality. Is there a satisfaction? No. Are the servants fairly treated? No. They are unfair, cheated, exploited. Is the expectation ever met with the boss, with the master? No. The servant they are treated unfriendly. Use and throw. So many layoffs are going on. There is cutthroat competition. One will lose job, insecure. If you fail, you are thrown out. Whereas servant of God is with love. It's a permanent position where one is thinking, I am not the doer. One is completely satisfied, like Hanuman. Hmm? It is friendly relationship. Even if you fail, it is considered success. We talked about the example of Jatayu. Okay. So the left hand side is the real understanding of servant. Right hand side, the word understanding of servant doesn't apply when we say servant of God in spiritual terms. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we cannot have we cannot have anything that is not in God. That is not possible. Therefore, in the Vedanta Sutra, it is said that everything that we have is also found in God. It is emanating from God. So our relationship is that because we are small, because we are minute, we are eternal servitors of God. In this material world, also in ordinary behavior, we see that a man goes to serve another man because the other man is greater than he and can pay him a nice salary. So naturally, the conclusion is that if we are small, our duty is to serve God. We have no other business. We are all different parts. We are all different parts and parcels of the original entity.
Okay.
A screw that is connected with a machine is valuable because it is working with the whole machine. And if the screw is taken away from the machine or if it is faulty, it is worthless. My finger is worth millions of dollars as long as it is attached to this body and is serving the body. And if it is cut off from this body, then what is it worth? Nothing. Similarly, our relationship is that we are very small particles of God. Therefore, our duty is to dovetail our engines with Him and cooperate with Him. That is our relationship. Otherwise, we are worthless. We are cut off. When the finger becomes useless, the doctor says, "Oh, amputate this finger. Otherwise, the body will be poisoned." Similarly, when we become godless, we are cut off from our relationship with God and suffer in this material world. If we try to join again with the Supreme Lord, then our relationship is revived.
So when we serve the Lord, our relationship is revived. Okay. So next is the highest love. Spiritual life means in association with the Supreme Lord and to exist in bliss. So the next part is about what is spiritual life, how it is, what exactly happens over there, how we serve the Lord. Okay. So let's open up for some questions or comments. Any questions or comments? Any question you have in your mind on this topic or any other topic? We have some time to discuss. So any questions?
Um, one question. It's a general question, probably.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Tell. Are you mute? Did you drop? Oh, okay. You dropped out. Okay. Yeah. Can you hear us?
yeah, I can hear us. I
Yeah.
lost for a
Yeah.
second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell.
So one question, like a general question, like some people they say like generally people will be not interested to this, and only after some age, after old age only they will be interested. Mm. So this kind of thought process, thinking will be there. So like how to address them, like how to
Yeah,
answer
yeah, yeah.
them.
Yeah, good. So, so I'll tell you a story. It's not today's problem. It is a eternal problem in this material world. People are not interested in God. So once what happened is Narad Muni, he used to meet this person, very pious person named Kailash, and he was convincing Kailash, take to spiritual life. But Kailash said, I am just young. I have small children. I have to take care of them. So after some time again Kailash comes. Sorry, Narad Muni comes to Kailash, and now Kailash says, now you take to spiritual life. Kailash says, no, my sons have grown up now. They should handle the business. And after that, then after some time Narad Muni comes, and then Kailash, he says, now Kailash, you have become old. At least now you should take to Krishna consciousness, spiritual life. He says, no, I have grandchildren to take care. Then and I have to teach my children how to take care of the business, etc., so many reasons he gives. Narmun is kind of frustrated. He goes away. After some times he comes and he sees there is no Kailash. So he asks, in the house, where is Kailash? And they say Kailash died. Oh, Narmuni feels very sad. What I missed a chance. So while going back on the road, he hears something. Hey Narad Muni, hey Narad Muni. And Narad Muni looks here and there. What? Where is this noise sound coming from? And then he sees there's a snake. And the snake is talking. He says, I am Kailash, I am Kailash. Then Narad Muni says, what are you doing? Then says, I am become snake and I'm protecting this property of mine. My children, they don't know how to protect. So in a snake body, I am doing it. Narad Muni becomes kind of, laughingly angry. And he goes inside the house and he says, there's a snake in the bush. So the same sons and children, they come out and they drive the snake away. At that point, Kailash says, look, Narad Muni says to Kailash, look, what is your real relationship? So the point of the story is that people will be in Maya. Okay. Sometimes they will die in Maya also. So now, how to trick them? Okay. Some people may not take it in their whole life also, but they can be still advanced. How? We'll discuss some points. See, one thing is, um, we can give some books. Okay. By reading knowledge, they may come. If not books, then we can give them prasad, right? And with that we can, tell them to chant or to hear the chanting, right? And they will advance accordingly. If they cannot even chant and all that, then we'll say, okay, donate, charity, whatever little they want to give, 100 rupees, 200 rupees, whatever, use it in Krishna's service for our temple. They can sponsor Bhagavad Gita. People like to do that. Okay. Then what else? Festivals. Invite them to festivals. People like good music, good food. So they like to come to festivals. They will not fully take up Krishna, but they will like festivals. They will like devotees. So these small things, right? They have a big impact in the journey of the soul. We should always remember that. Okay. So we should make sure that somehow they are connected. Somehow the biggest thing we should do is they should be able to appreciate Krishna and or his devotees. This is the aim. This is the biggest aim we should know. Okay. This should happen. Somehow or the other they should be able to appreciate Krishna or his devotees or and his devotees. And the reason is, once they appreciate Krishna for something, once they appreciate devotees, their spiritual life has begun. They also don't know. And they may pick up in their next life or in the next to next life or whatever. Or within this life they can become quickly devotees. Okay. So when we are trying to make these kind of people devotees, we should know that it will be their decision to take to Krishna consciousness. Okay, it is their decision to advance in Krishna consciousness, but it is our decision to make sure that we give them environment. Okay, we provide them this environment and then let them be free enough to decide what they want to do. You're getting? This is the this is the strategy we have to use for everybody. In case of our children also, we should do the same thing. We should train them in Krishna consciousness, give them prasad, give them nice association, festivals, make them happy in the temple, give them good association, make them learn shastras, and then it is up to them. Once they grow up and they leave house or they live independently, it's up to them what they want to do. You understand? It is not
Yes,
just a
yes, Kumar.
question of old people. It's for every young person, spouse, uh, friends, children, neighbors, everybody, everybody included. Our point should be that they should have a good experience about Krishna consciousness, a good impression, and then if they appreciate Krishna, their spiritual life has started. Okay, we shouldn't impose like, okay, now you are chanting 2 rounds, then chant 4 rounds. Fine, sometimes we may say, but we should not be forceful. Okay, we should say, okay, fine, you came for festivals, good, very nice, Hare Krishna. Take some books, take some prasadam. That's it. And over the period of time or even lifetimes, it may take to become a devotee. Okay. See, we also become devotees because devotees ran after us in this lifetime, in previous lifetime, in previous to previous lifetime. And in this lifetime, we have now decided, okay, let's become a devotee now. so, so
Yeah, it's like marketing, Prabhuji. Yes.
what?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, no, I'm just saying like marketing, we
See,
are
this
also
is
like,
spiritual marketing.
yeah,
It's a
spiritual
spiritual
marketing.
marketing,
Yes.
and
Yes.
things happen spiritually. Okay.
Yes, yes, I
Yeah.
understand. So point number 3 and 4 are not, I mean, they may not agree. It may take
That's
time.
fine. Prasadam they like. Na?
Yeah. First two and fifth one, they may like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. See, everyone will like one of the thing or all of the thing or some of the thing, but they should ultimately appreciate Krishna. That is the important.
Yes. So I just my experience, like I invited two of my friends, with families to
Hmm.
Janmashtami function here in East Left. So they came all to here, but finally they said like they called me. So in the crowd, I couldn't pick up the call, and they finally said, "No, crowd is more. We cannot park the car." So they left without coming inside.
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
yeah,
See, that
it's
happened
fine.
on Janmashtami. There are other festivals
Yes,
and
yes.
a lot of other
Yeah, yeah.
things. Keep trying. They came to that point. Next time they'll come inside like that, like that. Next time let them
Yeah.
tell you come on this particular time and all that. Don't worry.
Mhm.
See, we are
Okay.
attached to them because we think they are my friends. Expand that view. Expand that view and see everybody in that lane. That actually anyone walking on the road is also my friend. And try to see how we can interact with everybody. Sometimes we just become too much focused on the people that we know, and then when they don't grow, we become a little bit frustrated. But instead we should expand our view. Okay. And expand beyond our blood relationship, beyond our near and dear ones. We should expand and try to be outreach. you know Try to go door to door. That will help us. Okay.
Yes.
And pray to Krishna to take you to the right person. Whether that may be your friend or may not be your friend, doesn't matter. Take to Krishna to tell you the right person who will take to Krishna consciousness, and Krishna will make sure he will take you to there. Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Sure. Okay, then let's meet tomorrow and we'll continue with chapter 8. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.